have a staff job as an executive, for a long time at MTV, I was able to be a creative executive, like run a department and also make things. And everybody that I worked with was like my boss ran our department, and he also produced the Video Music Awards, and you know what I mean? Everybody kind of had, and that's not really the way the industry works right now. Pretty much if you're on staff as an executive, you're a development exec, which is a very particular, specific kind of job. And it's well paying, it's just a different kind of job. You're not really making things, you're making pilots. And if you have a success, like I was a development exec for a year, and my big success was my Super Sweet 16. And but the first thing you do when you have a hit pilot is you give it to somebody else to make. And it's not something that I just want to do the rest of my life, It's kind of like a great job. It felt like to me like a great job for a lawyer who wanted to do something creative, because you spend most of your time making deals and, it's a really, if you can be a good development exec, you'll get paid really well and have a great career. I just didn't want to do that. I finally got to a point where I was filmmaking, and it was like, it felt like going backwards to me as opposed to forwards. But I still do a lot of stuff. I went to Stanford, and I made a documentary film, a half-hour film that won the Student Academy Award. It was on PBS. And so when I moved to New York, I had something that I wrote, produced, directed, and edited. I had a whole piece that I made. And I worked for a bunch of different people, as a researcher, and eventually I did an interview at MTV, and there really wasn't anything appropriate for me, but I liked the people that I met with. I was always really, really interested in music, and it was just sort of fun to be at a music place that made things other than music. So I stayed in touch with those people, really just as friends, and then when MTV Europe started, a bunch of people left to go over there, and then some jobs opened up. So a lot of times when you have job interviews or you look for a spot, you think nothing comes of it, but then eventually a door opens up. So, but I remember very much my boss hiring me at $28,000 a year, and I was making, all I did was make films for you. I just was not very well paid. And I remember him saying to me, "I'm not hiring you for what you've done, I'm hiring you for what I think you can do." It was kind of like, okay. Great. It's good to have some hands-on experience. I see it, it's really good. I think you probably in this program get some hands-on experience. I think that's kind of really great, because I see a lot of people who come through the producing ranks because they're attached to an idea, or they have a connection, or they sort of get in a roundabout way, not through production, and it's a perfectly valid way, but you always sense a little bit of an insecurity from them because they haven't actually made anything. So I think if you can actually get some hands-on experience and make stuff, even if it's your student film, it doesn't really matter, it'll just give you a confidence that you know what it is that you're talking about. In my film school program, you had to be a cameraman, you had to be an audio person, you actually had to do all the jobs, all of which I was okay at, but it's so valuable to me later, because now I know what the audio person needs, I know what you actually, that kind of training actually kind of do know what everybody, and the more empathetic you can be with your team, the sort of better they know what they. But it's good to find the one thing that you're really good at. I remember in film school, like I said, I had no technical experience. I had to learn it from scratch. We were still cutting on film, slicing, pasting the film. And I remember, like I said, I was sort of okay at everything. And then we had an exercise where we had to take an interview and then sort of make a 5-minute piece out of it, make a story out of our footage. And I finished it in 20 minutes. And everybody else took the whole day to do it, and it was oh, maybe I did it wrong. But I actually sort of found the one quirky area of filmmaking that I'm really good at, which is taking massive amounts of material and making a little story out of it. And I feel like that's what I've been able to do on television, for my own project and for other people's projects, sort of look at their material and help them make their story. So, that's something that's worked for me, and I know has worked for a lot of my colleagues. They sort of find the thing that they're good at, editing, or the thing that they're good at, and make a lot of money doing that thing while they, expand their reach and partner with other people to make, the order I think it should be in, sort of felt like it came from them. But, and then we had a great sound mixer, to really make the whole thing seamless. I mean, it was, it's like a year of my life.
Very tedious.
It was, there's no shortcuts. My film professor used to tell me tell us two things. One was there are no shortcuts, and that is true. And then the other was you have to be a force of nature in this business. You have to sort of be the wind and create yourself. And those are two very useful things. But in terms of Tupac, I mean, that was a tremendous amount of work just getting that. And our first cut of the movie was like a radio play. It was just him talking. It was without any of the music or footage or sound notes or anything. And he held it as a story. It actually was interesting to tell as a story. So it was a backbone we had to work with. But I remember after one of our screenings, someone came up and saying to me, wow, it was a great interview that one. It was one interview that right. That never happened. No, the family came to me afterwards, after she died. I actually talked to her one time on the phone when I was doing research for Tupac, because they were very good friends. We had a good conversation on the phone. And we had covered TLC, and MTV News. But, and I remember on the phone talking about Tupac, and talking about how he had died early. They were very similar. They were like Geminis, and they had all these similarities. And she said, I wouldn't be surprised if I died early too. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, but I don't think of death the way most people do. I really just think of it as a step to the next thing. And she said it in a very matter-of-fact way, not really in a kooky way, like kind of in an interesting way. And it kind of stuck with me. And then years later, when she died in that accident, I mean, it really was like, oh my God, I had that conversation. And then a couple years after that, the family, there was a whole process they had of getting those tapes that she had shot in Honduras. It was a whole thing to get the tapes back and get the copyright. And they had gotten the tapes, and people at VH1 had made this a deal to make the film. And then the lawyer for the estate was also the lawyer on the Tupac estate. He said we should bring in Lauren, and sort of that's how I met them. And they're just really nice people, and it was not dissimilar from Tupac, was a way of sort of reconstructing someone's life and just through their footage, someone really knew. But it was interesting because the tapes were kind of a mess. I mean, there was tons of stuff, but it really wasn't labeled or organized in any way. So it was really my job as a filmmaker, kind of organize in a way that made sense, that made a story, but also really be true to her, and not just be like me imposing it on there. And the way in that we found was the whole numerology angle. She was very interested in numerology, so we took her journals and